Hello, beautiful soul. How are you doing today? Hope you're having an amazing day today. It's sunny, it's beautiful in the UK if you live in the UK. We love it when the weather's this good. We love it, and I just feel so good today. And I'm here to do a video about self consciousness. 4 mindset shifts that we can take with us on a daily basis to help us to not be self conscious as people. So, what is self consciousness? What is self consciousness so we can understand what we want to overcome and what we want to let go of? So, self consciousness is a heightened awareness of yourself, specifically attaining to the perceptions of other people regarding your appearance and your actions. So, self consciousness is basically when you're very overly concerned about what other people think of you. That is basically what self consciousness is. So, this is what we want to overcome today. How can we let this go? Because this is not something we want to have in our lives, and it's important to let self-consciousness go because self-consciousness is one of those things that's going to hold you back in life. It's going to stop you from reaching your fullest potential as a person because you're so focused on what other people are thinking about you. You're not able to show up fully because you're, feeling some kind of way about the way you might be looking or the actions you're taking. You're overly conscious of what you're doing. We want to be free when we live and when we walk and when we step into every situation we go into. So today we're going to talk about self-consciousness and how we can let it go. So I've got 4 mindset shifts that I'm going to talk through how we can let it go. And these have been really good for me to help me let go of self-consciousness because this is something that I've experienced for a lot of my life. I've actually been quite a shy and self-conscious person, but I feel like I'm getting out of it slowly. We're still in the process, but I believe that the things that I'm going to mention here have really helped me. So if they're able to help you, then that's an amazing thing too. So the first mindset shift that will help us to let go of self-consciousness is realizing that everyone is more concerned about their own lives and what they're doing with their lives than they are concerned about you. So everyone is living in their own reality. Everyone is hyperfixated on their own ideas, their own visions, their own purposes, their own goals in life. Everyone is focused on something. So you don't need to feel like, if your dress is creased because you've been sitting on the train, or you have one hair out of place, it's okay. Like, people aren't going to be hyper fixated on this because everyone is in their own reality. Everyone is more focused on themselves and their goals, their aspirations, what they want to do with their own lives. However, I do need to say there are 2 types of people. There are the people who are happy, the people who are goal orientated, the people who are focused on their lives, and the people who they love their lives, they're happy, and for that reason they're more focused on their own lives. They're more focused on their vision, their purpose, which might be to help other people, and focus on other people's lives in a sense, but not in a minute and specific way. It's more of a general, I'm here to help people. That's one category of people. The second category of people are people who are miserable, people who don't love themselves, people who aren't happy with their lives. Those are the kind of people who hyperfixate on other people and other people's insecurities and other people's appearances and other people's actions. Those are people who are unhappy. So what we need to remember is, as a happy person, we want to be happy people. We are working towards being happier people each day. Happy people don't hyperfixate on other people in terms of their insecurities or in terms of their shortcomings or in terms of any aspect of themselves. Happy people focus on how they can help others. So when we remember this, it can now let us feel like, okay, good. I therefore don't need to hyperfixate on myself because that's not what a happy person would do anyway. So we need to remember that miserable people might actually be focusing on us, but we don't associate with those kind of people. We focus on the happy people. So when we remember we're focusing on the happy people, we can actually have the mindset shift that everyone is more focused on their own lives and what they want to do with their lives, and they are focused on us. Also, I do want to say that we need to reflect on ourselves. This is another aspect of this first mindset shift, which is everyone's more focused on themselves and their goals than they are on you. We have to remember that we are an energetic match to what we are. We are an energetic match to what we attract. So if we feel self-conscious in ourselves, maybe it's actually because we ourselves aren't happy with our lives. We're judging other people for little things. We're focusing on other people's shortcomings when we shouldn't be. So there's a chance to actually reflect on ourselves and think, am I self-conscious because I judge others? Am I self-conscious because I, without realizing, tear people down in my mind? I'm like, oh, that person doesn't look good today. Like, is that me? Because if that is you, then you have to first change yourself too, because then you can actually have the perspective that other people are more focused on their goals and their lives than you, when you are also doing the same. Because obviously if you're focused on everyone else's lives, then how in turn will you feel that about other people? But when you actually are focused on your vision, your purpose, you are a happy person who sees the good in others and doesn't find things about other people to pick at to make yourself feel better, then you can really embody this mindset that everyone is more focused on their own lives, their own agendas, their own visions, purposes in life than you. And you should also be more fixated and more obsessed with your vision, your purpose, your goals than other people. And for that reason, that should free us of self-consciousness, because we in turn we're not fixated on other people, so we don't expect other people to be fixated on us. We don't need to show up as perfect because we don't expect other people to show up as perfect. We understand that everybody's on their way in life, focusing on their plans, focusing on their purpose, and taking each step as it goes, and we don't have to be perfect in that journey. So just to summarize point number one, and the first mindset shift to help us let go of self-consciousness, other people are more concerned about their own lives than you. And that's just the truth. There might be people who are actually obsessed with you, but you have to see that in a positive way. They're obsessed with you because of your beautiful and amazing qualities. Maybe they are hyper-fixated on you, maybe a little bit. But that should not make you feel self-conscious. That should actually make you feel more confident, because wow, they're obsessed with me, they love me. So that's another step to take this even further. It's also how you perceive it. So number one, everyone's more focused on their own lives than you. And the people who are, most likely are not happy with their lives. And also the people who are, take it as a compliment. Honestly, if they are obsessed with you, if they are hyper-fixated on you, don't make that make you feel like self-conscious and like, oh, I feel some kind of way. I need to like act a certain way now to please other people. Let that be like, yeah, they're obsessed with me. They love me because I'm me. And I can just be unapologetically me, and I don't have to continue to be self-conscious basically. And I can free myself because they like me for me. And if they don't like me for me, then they're just unhappy with their lives. And if they are happy with their lives, they're not hyper-fixated on me. So yeah, that's it. That's the first mindset shift for letting go of self-consciousness. The second mindset shift for letting go of self-consciousness is realizing that the root of self-consciousness is a desire for control. Because if we look at the definition of self-consciousness, it is the heightened awareness of yourself pertaining to the perceptions of other people regarding your actions and your appearance. So this is, in a sense, trying to control how other people perceive you, trying to control how other people feel about you, if they like you, if they don't, if they're pleased with what you're doing, if they're not. In essence, you're trying to control how you present and how you show up to other people. And guess what? This is not something that you can actually do. You can't leave your body, step into another person's body, understand what they're going to think about you, and then come back into your own body and try and fix to match. And if you did that, why would you even do that? And then how many people would you have to be doing that for to make people happy and to, be likable to the level you may want to be likable to? We ain't got time for that. Who's got time to be doing all that? So just let it go. We let go of control, because that is at the root of self-consciousness, control. A desire to control the perspectives of others, the desire to control the opinions of others, the way people see us. And we don't need to obsess over that. We can just free ourselves. to how we free ourselves within this control aspect is we're going to have 3 new perspectives, 3 mindset shifts within this overall mindset shift, which is we're letting go of control. So I'm going to mention 3 things here, 3 points that we can take with us, and we're going to not be self-conscious because we know this, and we can recite these in our minds, and then we know we don't need to care. So the first one is get out of your head and move into your body and be in the present moment. So whenever you catch yourself feeling self-conscious in an environment, you catch yourself thinking, oh my God, what's that person thinking of me? What's that person saying? How do I feel in this moment? You remember to get out of your head, move into your body, and be in the present moment. Because there's no way you can enjoy the present moment while you're being self-conscious. There's just no way. If there's a beautiful bird flying by, if you see like something beautiful in your environment, you'll miss those things, those precious things of life if you're self-conscious. So when you catch yourself being self-conscious in an environment, you say, okay, scratch that, catch yourself in the moment and say, no, I'm gonna be in my body and feel the environment and be in this present moment and enjoy the present moment. This is something that takes practice, so this is something you're going to have to keep doing, but you basically get out of your head and get into your body and be in the present moment. And a good way to do this is also by taking some breaths. So you breathe in, you breathe out, you can do a few of those, and that can take you out of your head and release the self-consciousness that you might be feeling in the moment. Getting out of your head and being in your body is a great way. And this is something you're going to have to just keep doing and repeating so it becomes second nature. So you're just always in the present moment and always enjoying yourself in every situation and not in your head. So that's step 1 to releasing control. Get out of your head and move into your body. The second point is decide that you don't care what other people think about you. This is very easily said than done. I can't lie. But again, these are mindset shifts that we're going to have to embody over time. We're going to repeat it to ourselves. I am okay with what other people think about me. I don't care what other people think about me. And this might not be for everybody. This might just be for you. Obviously, your family, your friends, you might care a little bit by what they think. But again, you can't put that above your own. So we don't care what other people think. We are choosing to be free. So that is mindset shift number 1. I don't care what other people think about me. How does that feel? That feels good. I don't know about you, but when I just said that, that felt really good. I don't care what other people think about me. Yeah. That's the energy. And the final mindset shift is decide that everyone else's opinions are up to them. So everyone else's opinions are up to them. You know, when we're self-conscious, we're in our own head and we're also trying to perceive what is in other people's heads too. We want to be liked, we want to be accepted, but this is normal because we are human creatures. Validation is something that we naturally crave, but we need to work out of this a little bit and free ourselves from this burden that we might be carrying that we don't need to carry. So we're in other people's heads because we're in our own head thinking what they're thinking about us. But we need to decide that what they think is actually up to them. It's okay for them to think what they want to think. So what they think is up to them. I don't have to change how I am, be in my head thinking about what they're thinking so that I can, act a certain way and be because that's the root of self-consciousness. It's just trying our hardest to control what other people think. And what other people think is up to them. So I'm going to summarize the 3 mindset shifts within point number 2, which is get out of your head, get into your body, and be in the present moment. A good way to do this is by taking a breath. Decide that you don't care what other people think. And then decide that what other people think is up to them. See how with these points, decide that you don't care what other people think is you taking your power back. And then deciding what other people think is up to them is letting other people have their power too, letting other people think what they want to think. Like, it's not our job to be in other people's heads modulating how they think about us. All we have to do is show up in the best and highest versions of ourselves and live life. Enjoy life. Be the best versions of ourselves. And that's all we need to do. We don't need to be in other people's heads. We don't need to care about what other people think. Obviously, we should be mindful. Good citizens, generally, we can be a bit naughty sometimes, but good citizens of society, we don't want to be like doing the most. So, but generally, we don't care what people think. Not to the level of being in prison. We're not going that far. We're just going as far as freeing ourselves from self-consciousness. We're you know what I mean. We're taking it one step at a time. We're not jumping to the point where we don't care what other people think. To the point where we're doing bad. We're conscious. We know what we're doing. We're okay here. We just want to free ourselves a bit more each day and liberate our soul each day. So because of that, we don't care what other people think, and what other people think is up to them. And we choose to let go of control, get out of our head, be in our body, and be in each present moment. The third point, the third mindset shift for letting go of self-consciousness is seek your own validation and let that be enough. Seek your own validation and let that be enough. Again, this is easier said than done, but everything here is a practice thing. It's something we have to build over time. So I'll give an example in my own life as to how I was able to use this one where my own validation is enough for me. So a few weeks ago, or was it last week, the Met Gala just happened, and I was like, oh, I'm so inspired by this super fine black tailoring and dandy style, and I want to do like I want to be inspired by this, and I want to create my own version of this with the clothes I have in my wardrobe. So what I did is I created a little YouTube short and a TikTok, a short one, dressing in my super fine tailoring and dandy style outfit, and I posted it on TikTok and I posted it on YouTube. And I felt really good about that. My creativity had an outlet, and I enjoyed that, and I loved that. But then later on, after I posted it, a few days later, I found myself thinking, what are other people going to think? Do they think I'm like silly for like dressing up in my house? Do they care? Like, do they think that I'm like, is this embarrassing for them? Like, should I be embarrassed? That was literally what I was thinking. I was like, should I be embarrassed by this? Yeah, I was low-key feeling cringe afterwards, and I was like, why am I feeling cringe? Like, at the time, I loved this, and I still love it to this day. And this links back to the point number 3, because it's like, I seek my own validation with how I show up on social media and how I want to show up in life. If I'm happy with what I'm doing, then that's okay. And I think that's the best thing to do, especially as someone who you've been self-conscious. If you're very focused on what other people want and what other people expect from you, you might just stunt your growth, and you might not actually reach your biggest potential and quantum leap into new experiences and new ventures that you could have never experienced if you didn't just, listen to your heart, listen to your soul, and let that be enough for you. So this third point is let your own validation be enough for you. And again, this takes work, but you can put your hand in your heart and you can say, what I do is enough for me. You can just say that. What I do is enough for me. And whenever you catch yourself feeling like, what are people going to say? How are people going to perceive this? Also remember that, for example, I will link back to the example I made regarding to myself about that video I posted. That video was like 30 seconds long. And people who have viewed that probably viewed that and just carried on with their merry day. Linking back to the first point, everyone's more concerned with themselves than they are with you. So why would I maybe next time not want to be creative and do the same thing because I felt like this time when I posted it, it felt somehow initially. No, like I need to remember that what I do is enough for me. I'm happy with what I did, and I need to keep that and not be wavering because of other people. Because deep down, I'm happy that I expressed that creativity in that way. But when I was thinking about who would view that TikTok or who would view that YouTube short, I was thinking, I was feeling some kind of way because I was like, what are people going to say? But I can't allow myself to be in other people's heads. I need to be in my own head, living my own life and caring about my goals, my visions, just like I expect other people to do too. So that's it. So let your validation be enough for you. And this, again, it takes practice, but let your validation be enough for you. And you can do this by reaffirming it. Hand on your heart. What I do is enough for me. That's it. What I do is just enough for me. The final point, the final mindset shift on how we can let go of self-consciousness is by choosing to make freedom one of our personal values. So our personal values are what we use to navigate the world and navigate circumstances, and basically it helps us. It's like our moral compass. It helps us to decide what we want to do in life and how we want to show up. So people can have many different values. They can be self-development, they can be integrity, they can be creativity. Knowing your values is very key as well. So you can also take time to sit with yourself and decide, what are my values in life? But if you make freedom one of your personal values, then there's no way self-consciousness and freedom can be together. They can't exist together, because self-consciousness is you basically not freeing yourself from the opinions of others and the perceptions of others. You basically are holding the shackles of them on your head and carrying that on your back. Like, we just take that backpack off, we just remove that from our head, and we say, no, I'm free. If my personal value is free, if my ethos in life is freedom, then how can I be self-conscious? That just contradicts. I'm free. I show up how I want to show up. I choose, and in each moment, freedom. So when it comes to personal values, in each circumstance, in each situation, you choose freedom. And once you choose freedom in every single circumstance, then you can't be self-conscious. Obviously, this is a practice thing that we're doing over time, but generally, self-consciousness and freedom, they can't coexist. They contradict. They're basically polar opposites. And yeah, so we choose freedom in our lives because we want to be free. And the truth is, if you actually want financial freedom, if you want time freedom, if you want like energetic freedom, if you want freedom in all aspects of life, which I'm sure we all do, we all want to be financially free. We all want to have time freedom where we can do what we want with our time and spend it in the best way. We all want this. So this also relates to how we show up. We need to show up free so we can actually attract financial freedom. We can attract energetic freedom. We can attract time freedom. We have to show up free to actually attract that. So choose freedom as your personal value. And this will change your life, because you can't go back. Once you've decided that something is your personal value, you actually have to stick with it as well. This is where integrity comes in. So having integrity as your personal value on top of freedom is an extra bonus, because it actually helps you to keep to all your values, because you can have personal values and then you could just be breaking them. But if integrity is actually one of your personal values as well, then you have integrity. So when you've chosen freedom, you actually stick to that. And choosing freedom through integrity is freeing. We don't want to have our personal values and make them constrict us. We can obviously flow, and there will be times where, we can listen to other people's opinions. We can understand other people's perspectives. We can take on criticism. That is all part of this. But we don't want to take that on to the point of self-consciousness. We still want to have the freedom there. So that's where the balance comes in. Choosing that we are free and showing up as free, but then also being open to other people saying, oh, hey, you could have done this better. By the way, maybe you could have done that in a nicer way. Maybe you could have said that in a better way. Maybe you could have adjusted yourself in a better way. I just adjusted my I literally just adjusted my necklace, so that just came to my mind. But yeah, we are open. Again, we are not closed people. We're open to what other people say, but again, we choose freedom at the end of the day. So if someone is telling us something where it makes us feel not free, then that is not something that aligns with us, and we don't take that. But if someone says something and it can actually free us more, so this is the thing, this is why we want to be in a free state. We can attract people who can free us even more and help us to be less self-conscious, because some people, they'll give you advice and you feel more self-conscious because of it. Whereas more people, they can give you advice when you're already living in a free life and living in a free way with your internal values and your moral being freedom, and you can feel more free by what they're saying because you're already showing up that way. So yeah, it's self-consciousness is something that we don't want to hang on to. We want to let that go. You have to let it go. So I'm going to summarize the 4 mindset shifts and 4 techniques that we can take with us to help us to let go of self-consciousness. So the first one is, everyone is more concerned with their own lives, their own goals, their own aspirations than they are with you. And see this as a good thing. They're more concerned with that than you. And that is a freeing feeling. Like, wow, people aren't like happy fixated on me. And if they are, it's because I'm amazing. This also links to us also making sure that we're people who focus on ourselves rather than focusing on other people, because this can help us to really embody this further, that everyone is more focused on themselves and their own goals, aspirations, their own life than they are ours, and everyone is living in their own reality. The second point is self-consciousness is rooted in a desire for control. So we have to let go of control. How we do this is we choose to get out of our head, be in our body, and be in the present moment. Taking a breath can help with this. Be in the present moment. Look around, feel your senses, your eyes, your ears, your mouth, your touch. Get into the present moment, and that can help you to let go of that self-consciousness as well. And then also we're choosing to have new mindsets, which is decide that you don't care what other people think about you. And decide what other people think is up to them. We're not in other people's heads, we're in ours. We're staying in ours, and that's where we love it. We love it here, in our own heads, not in others. The third one is seek your own validation and let that be enough for you. So you can just put your hand on your heart. What I do is enough for me. I don't need to be seeking validation from left, right, center. What I do is enough for me. And that's so freeing. I don't know about you, but that feels, every time I say that, it feels so freeing in my body. Oh, I love it. And then the final one is choose freedom as your personal value. Because when you choose that as your personal value, then you have to show up free. You can't be bound by the shackles of self-consciousness, which is rooted in wanting to be liked by others, wanting for other people to perceive you in a specific way. We let go of those shackles today. In fact, we let go of them yesterday. We let them go and we're like, you know what, we're free. Freedom is our value. So yeah, those are the 4 points on how to let go of self-consciousness and how to be a free person. And this can really help you to be happier, be free, and you're going to be more magnetic. So you might actually have people becoming obsessed with you, but that's okay because it's a positive thing, because you've let go of self-consciousness. So they're obsessed with you because they just love your energy. They just love who you are. So that is it. Let go of self-consciousness. This has helped me so much in my life, where I, as a child and growing up, even into the last few years, well, up until I started my inner work journey, which has been in the last three years, I was such a self-conscious child. Like the way, see how my body just crouched when I was even thinking about that, because it was such a time in my life where I wouldn't speak. I was so shy. I was so hyperfixated on what other people were thinking about me. And I'm so happy to say that, I'm still on the journey. I would say, even when I mentioned the example of the Met Gala post that I posted on TikTok, it's still a journey. That's why I said this is something we have to practice each day, but we unlock a new level each day. And I feel like I've unlocked a lot of levels compared to how I was as a child, and even compared to how I was now. And yeah, that's another thing to do. Unpack why you were self-conscious as a child, and then realize it was probably for some random reason that really had nothing significant to do with you. It was probably just literally it just got transferred onto you from your parents or from someone else, and you just embodied it when really you didn't have to. So again, we choose freedom, and we're happy with our lives as is. We choose validation from ourselves. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you were able to gain something amazing from this today. And I hope you're feeling free. I hope you're feeling less self-conscious today. And into the future, I hope you continue to feel less self-conscious as a person. As always, follow your purpose, be a light in this world, and I'm sending you lots of love and peace.